Hello. Top of the afternoon to you, man. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I got what I need right here. Yeah, make sure I got what I need. Let's edit the privacy. There we go. Say, man, it's the Hood CNN with your favorite Hood reporter, the Prime Minister of Hood Education, Dr. Monroe. Because I got a PhD in common sense, and I'm a 5-star general. Say, man, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I see the kids out there doing what they doing, Easter egg hunting and all that. That's a beautiful thing. Do your thing, baby. Hopefully you found the golden egg. A lot of good groups out working. A lot of good groups out working today, putting the work in. That's what you got to do. And it's good to see people out helping other people. Hold on a second. It's good to see people. Oh, man. Time for me to pivot. Time to pivot. I'm bringing you inside of how I operate. I'm bringing you inside of how I operate. There were a lot of thanks today. I got to thank my team because you some goddamn monsters. I want to thank my team for the work that they did today, the work we going to do tomorrow. We have a philosophy. You never correct your enemies when they making mistakes. You never correct your enemies when they making mistakes. So now it's time to pivot. I sit and I watch how people bask in the glory of helping those that are less fortunate. I've never been more than anybody I've ever helped. I've never been more than anybody I've ever helped. I see every time we do something, we got to shine a light on it. I remember how I met Will and Cash on a median on Homestead in Tidwell. I remember my good friend Clifford Jones, who just passed away, was the barbecue man for every time we went to a community and we fed the whole community. Not because it was Easter, but because it just needed to be done. See, I've never been the guy that needed to go out because it was a holiday and do anything for anybody. I show up when you don't expect me to show up. That's when your character's being tested. And for those that just are doing it for the likes, there's a special place in hell for you. See, because whatever the motives may be, only you and God know them. Maybe he's not who you pray to, some of you people, but he's who you will answer to when it's all said and done. Your soul will burn in eternal hell because of the things that you do. Now, me, I'm not a super Christian, nowhere near it. I'm a sinner in training. And I got a lot of shit wrong in my life. But along the way, I got a lot of stuff right. And I start giving from my heart. I started giving when I didn't have enough to even survive on. I gave. The other night, and I'm going to show you how I give up myself. I watch people complain about how I speak in meetings in a room full of people that are supposedly fighting for the kids in HISD. There was a school board meeting Thursday night, just like it normally is every month. And there was one speaker that spoke virtually. Nobody in the audience, place empty. That one speaker was me. See, because I ain't into faking. I ain't into cameras. I'm in this for real. Because I understand where we at and I understand what's going on. So I don't expect everybody to like me. I'm like Michael. I'm the Michael Jordan of this game, contrary to popular opinion. And just like Mike, there's 1 million that love me. It's 3 million that hate me. And I don't give a damn if you do hate me. I don't care if people like me. I don't give a damn. But I tell you what, I need to add fuel to my fire on a daily. And I got all the fuel I needed today. I got all the fuel that I needed today. Because you never correct your enemies when they making mistakes. You see that look in my eye? I feel kind of good. And I'm going to wear this goddamn computer out tonight. Because at the end of the day, I have an assignment. And I'm going to complete the assignment. I am currently at war. And at war, I understand, when you're at war, I understand that there shall be casualties. There shall be casualties. Everybody won't make it. But I tell you what, we're going to pivot. What you mean by pivot? Yeah, I'm finna pivot. My next move gonna be my best move. The only thing that I can say, don't matter how many on your team, they're not as good as mine. I have a team full of all-stars. I have a team full of master's degrees, a team full of PhDs, real PhDs, that are quietly at work. But the one thing I've always prided myself on is nobody will outwork me. I will outwork my opponent every day of the week. I will not allow you to outwork me. I want everybody to know my best move. It's a hard one. It's a move that requires me to be heartless. It's a move that at the end of the day, I'll probably lose my brand on, because I'm going to smash hard. Harder than I've ever done in my life. See, because kids, I have a soft spot for them. And when it comes to them kids, I'm going to give you that smoke. So this next move will be a heartless move. Totally, totally heartless. And I beg God for forgiveness for what has to be done. But it has to be done. He gave Saul an assignment. And when Saul did not do that assignment as God instructed, he shortened his days. If you are not in my line of fire, this ain't the time to get in it. Because I have to do what he told me to do. Why do you, for 14 years, do what you do? Somebody got to do it. And I clearly understand in the African American community, we've never had a warrior like me. We've just never had a warrior like me. And some people can't make that adjustment. The portraits that are trying to be painted, girl power. Well, I'm gonna paint some too, real nigga power. Because the same way women can have a coalition to stand up for them, it's time for a man to create one for us men. The men that are being disrespected for no apparent reason. The men who don't get the credit that they rightfully deserve. Real nigga power is what we finna create. See, we deal with a plethora of things. We deal with the child support system and the games that are played with that. We deal with the fact that in our community, Black men are marginalized. And we should be told to sit down because everybody else should be able to stand up before us. But my brothers, and I'm not talking to my sisters, I prepare a table for you now. And those brothers that's been in my inbox, it is now time to stand up. It is now time to raise up in a manner to where folks will never understand it. You have woken up a sleeping giant. And I know you sit and you think that your degrees and your rational way of thinking can possibly slow down whatever I'm talking about. But it can't. We shall be heartless in what we have to do. We shall be heartless. Let me tell you what I don't like. These fake ass activists out here nowadays. You ain't helping no communities. Let me tell you how you get on. You find groups that's doing whatever and you attach yourself to them. Whenever we went out to the community, we spent our own money. We didn't ask nobody for nothing. That was our time to take care of our people. We didn't go out there to put on a show. We went out there to show our people that we loved them. Those that have a tendency to treat the have-nots like they're nothing. I'd rather drink a beer in the midst of Trinity Garden with some real dudes under a tree in an empty parking lot than to ever put on a monkey suit and go in a room with a bunch of fake politicians that ain't doing nothing but raping our communities. I'd rather pull up at the fish fry at the AutoZone where my people just out there hustling than to hang out with some people that really don't give a damn whether we live or die. That's how I'm built. So now, my mom was on her deathbed and she told me to make her a promise. And I told her that I would. if I violated that promise, she already knew. Trinity Garden is real. Real cats in Trinity Garden. Northeast Houston is real. Real cats in Northeast Houston. Southwest Houston is real. See, I'm telling you where I walk amongst the killers. South Park, Fifth Ward, Harm Clark, Sunnyside, Third Ward, Texas. Because I'm no better than them. And that's why I give as much as I can give to these people. The one thing that you don't want to do, and I think some people just ain't never felt my wrath. Don't cross me. Don't ever cross me. But the way that continues to happen is when people call me and try to talk me down off the ledge. Great conversations today. Nah, let them tell it I don't do no work. Let them tell it they do the work. The reason you don't see the work is because I don't bring the news cameras to make it a goddamn circus. But the people in those communities know I do the work. And I'm going to keep helping my people. One day, you will wake up and clearly understand that your time has been wasted. Your purpose on this earth is no longer. Now, you get to see the other side. You get to see the other side that I promised my mama would not come out no more. You get to see the other side that's sort of like Nino Brown when he jumped on the back of that bike. Because some days you got to do it yourself. You get to see what you never thought existed. And there is no hiding from my truth. You can't hide from me. You can't go anywhere where I don't have people. It's time to raise up. I'm running a very unique clique. 77 lanes. You don't have a clue what that means. That means it's 7 of us. Far bigger than 7, but it's 7 core members that are strategically placed in different states. I'm 7. I'm number 7 of the 7 guys. And the other 6 will touch down Tuesday. My question is, do you need to get ready or do you stay ready? There was a school board meeting the other night, and I was the only one that spoke. It's time to pivot. Oh, I'm good. Thunder, I'm good, baby. I'm good. But my mind is clicking. My mind is clicking. I got to put a couple of people word, but like I told them, life is about choices and consequences. When you make a choice, just know there's a consequence that comes with it. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But in life, that's what it is. Life is also about choices and mistakes. See, a mistake is something that you do unconsciously. A choice is something that you do cold and calculated. Cold and calculated. I'm tired of the disrespect. My pet peeve is repeating myself. I hate when I have to repeat myself. See, because when you got to keep repeating yourself to grown people, you develop bitch tendencies. And I ain't the type to keep repeating myself. Not at all. So ain't finna be no shaving. None of that. Thunder say if they're willing to arrest a former president like we're in a third world nation, I tell you, I've never seen or heard these types of things happening in this country. Yamika Harmon says, much respect to you, sir. Outstanding work by you. She would know she was there a bunch of days. See, some of y'all just starting to do the work. See, y'all them hip-hop niggas. You disrespect the old school because you think you're doing something. I've been feeding the hood for years. All of us. Yamika, Tamika, Erica, me, Dr. Muhammad, Cliche, K. Reno, rest in peace, Clifford Jones. It's called One Houston, One Hood. We gave a damn about neighborhoods. Will and Cash, the first group to stand up and said, enough is enough. But y'all them hip-hop niggas, you keep respecting us old schoolers. You keep disrespecting us old schoolers. You made a monster out of me. And just like in House Party 2 when Bilal told Play, sometimes you got to pay what you owe. 77 lanes. But from a legal standpoint, my heart is broken because some of the things I saw today, I didn't think any black person could do that to their own people. You presented us all with declarations at our dinner, at your dinner. That was the heroes of Houston, the first heroes of Houston. I wasn't there. I was in the hospital, and I still won Activist of the Year. I remember when Sylvester called on you to control the crowds when Katrina hit. Some of y'all just started working. You need a cookie for that shit? Because it don't matter how many cameras show up. The hood don't respect you. The place where you have to eventually come back to has no respect for you. It has no respect for you. It's time. It's time. Ain't nothing bad happened, D. I'm not saying this on this thing, man, because you know why? You never correct your enemies when they making mistakes. But I never thought, out of all these years, that a black person could do that to their own people. But some people, it ain't about our people. It ain't never been about our people for the longest. We talk this unity bullshit. We talk this coming together bullshit. We talk group economics and we talk all this shit. There's too many selfish black folk amongst us. White folks ain't surrounded us, and Asians and Latinos ain't surrounded us. They ain't our enemy. We're our own enemy. We are our own enemy. So no matter what you think about folk coming together, it's some Negroes I'm not gonna never work with. Period. Because I know what you do to your own people. And those that tolerate them, your soul shall burn in hell with theirs. Black people are stuck in a rut and forever will be. Because we're too selfish. We want it all. We can't make sure all of us eat. We want it all. We got to get it all for ourselves. Boy, if I would have took some of the money them folk were throwing at me in the day. Yamika says it's all about money, and I refuse to participate in using our people as circus animals to be put on stage. I stand on that because of morals taught to me young. I remember a young black girl that was stabbed in the neck in a Walmart in Lake Charles, Louisiana. They didn't put no respect on her name. I had to come all the way from Houston to make them put some respect on her name. I remember a young black man named Trayford Pellerin that was killed by police in Lafayette, Louisiana. I had to make them put some respect on his name. And y'all out here Showing up when everybody expects you to show up. So the only time we gonna help our people is when it's a holiday. But we gonna leave them hanging all the rest of the days. I remember little black girls being raped and forced to do oral sex in schools, and not one activist, except for a couple, opened their mouths and said nothing. Not one politician said nothing. And I went and got justice. I watched people stand in front of cameras and camouflage what they really there for. And then once the camera's gone and reality sets in with that family, I got to come clean up your shit. That's why I will never be a politician. I'll always be a public servant. So black folk, if y'all waiting for things to change and us to get it right, it ain't happening. We got too many selfish Negroes amongst us. We got too many egotistical Negroes amongst us. You can come and take care of everything in the hood, but you can't live amongst us because you too good to do that. But if you that good, why don't you go where you live and help them? You ain't doing no favors when you help people. You actually doing God's work. Some of y'all done lost focus, and it's my job to put you back on track. There's a side of me that you can't stomach if you knew it. But it's time for you to feel it. It's time for you to be introduced to it. You're doing God's work. But you want the riches and fame. When you die, your riches and fame will remain here. D, you don't get it, do you? Because it's the way he got me talking right now. You got to go inside them parables. Ain't no Black Wall Street finna happen. Ain't no getting the black community together. We got too many sellouts amongst us. We got, you get a pandemic come through. You got people hustling the people to take the vaccine. You got people hustling the people. They got places where you can go get it. They got mobile vaccines, all of this. But you only in our neighborhoods. And it's time to run y'all out of our neighborhoods. Look like I'm ready for the streets, huh? Me and the streets got something to say. I'm finna make it hard for some of y'all to come into our neighborhoods because you don't deserve to be there anymore. You don't deserve to be able to come into our communities and spit your rhetoric and your game and then leave people hanging like it's a game to you. And you giggling and you sniggling, and the whole time the grassroots got to come behind you and clean up your shit. Well, it's easy if we just don't let you in the communities no more. I remember the first time I went to city council. That's when Groucho got killed on Cullen, the night he was looking for his horse. And I watched Mayor Turner disrespect that family that day. And they were going off, and he said, if y'all don't calm down, I'm going to put y'all out of here. I had never spoken at city council. And I was standing next to Troy Fenner, who was the executive chief. He wasn't the chief of police. He was second in command. And I blurted out, and if you put them out of here, your laws won't be able to come into our neighborhoods tonight. Power is something that you have to know how to control. How dare I tell the mayor that we won't let your people in our neighborhoods? So some of y'all finna come up out of our neighborhoods because now the hood got something to say. Y'all ain't right, man. You ain't right, bro. So I don't care who you connected to. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. If you ain't doing right by the people, you ain't gonna be able to set foot in Trinity Garden. You ain't gonna be able to set foot in Northeast Houston. And I don't give a damn if you grew up there. Power is something that you have to know how to control. You've seen power before. You remember one night in Central Park? You remember that? Can you dig it? You laughing. But when you got that kind of power, it is what it is. We are about to expel you from Sunnyside and South Park. Harm Clark, Fifth Ward. If you ain't doing right by the people, I don't give a damn who you show up with. You getting up out of our neighborhoods. Because what I saw today, I never would think a black person would do that to another black person. I know too much. And my soul is uneasy right now. My soul is aggravated. And the only thing I can tell you is God be with you. God be with you. Honestly, you know Lucifer? You about to meet him. And before we get started, Mama, I apologize, but I got to break that promise. I got to break it. You're going to